Very good evening. Jai Shri Krishna Guru. Thank you for joining the Bhagavad Gita Satsang, the way of life as described by Lord Shri Krishna to Arjuna. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Shri Saraswataya Namaha, Om Shri Guru Dattatreya Namaha, Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Today we'll be beginning with a new chapter, that is chapter 7, the Yoga of Jnana, knowledge of Nirgun Brahma, and Vijnana, knowledge of manifest divinity. And we will be learning about wisdom with real knowledge of manifest divinity. Chapter 7, verse 1. Sri Bhagavan said, Arjuna, now listen how with the mind attached to me through exclusive love. Now comes the path of love and devotion. And practicing yoga with absolute dependence on me, you will know me, the repository of all power, strength and glory and other attributes, the universal soul in entirety and without any shadow of doubt. This is very, 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 very profound. Let us understand what Lord Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna. Sri Bhagavan said, Arjuna, now listen how with the mind attached to me. See, he's making a direct inference to himself. To me, he's saying. He's not saying to somebody else, to other god or to someone else. He's saying, Arjuna, now listen how with the mind, that is with your mind, attached to me. Through exclusive love. What is he talking about? Exclusive love. Which means you can't have your love, to others. He's talking about exclusive love only to Lord Shri Krishna. Which means he's your father, he's your mother, he's your brother, he's your sister, husband. He's your everything of everything. Such a love is what he cares about. Exclusive love. And practicing yoga with absolute dependence on me. So what does he mean by that? Practicing yoga. What is practicing yoga? In the last 4-5 chapters, the one thing we have learned is how do you strive to practice the yoga of equanimity of mind, how to be self-controlled. Again, he was talking about dhyan yoga, yoga through karma, yoga through knowledge. Everything is a yoga alone. Yoga. The word I have been constantly explaining, it is not some asanas or a physical exercise that you do. Yoga means union with the Divine Lord. So this union happens through practice alone. It doesn't come that easily. It doesn't come overnight. You have to constantly strive to achieve. You have to constantly strive to practice the yoga. Now, let me also tell you, here he's saying something very beautiful. That is through, he's used a word, exclusive love. What does exclusive love mean? See, in the material world, the love is very much like a transaction. Okay, whether it is with your parents, whether it is with your siblings, your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, you name it, everything is a transaction. Because today, nobody loves one another unconditionally. There is always a condition involved. See, parents, make a family so that they will have somebody to look after them in their old age. Okay, and the children are taken care of by the parents till they go to college, and then once they start working, the parents expect that the children have to take care of their parents. But why do we have this expectation? See, there is no exclusive love in that. You are loving your children because you have given birth to them. You believe that they are yours. You have the right over them because they are born from your womb. So the mother feels extremely attached. For her, it is her child is her entire world. So she cannot think of somebody else, as her own. So the exclusivity doesn't exist over there because, exclusivity exists with her child alone. But she has other things as well, like she loves her husband, she loves her other children, that is there. But what I'm talking about is an unconditional love, where you are not expecting anything. See, in case of Lord Shri Krishna, he is only asking for your exclusive love. He's not expecting anything from you. He's not saying you have to give me what you earn. You have to, do this for me, do that for me. No, he's only saying you have that exclusive love. Depend on me. Practice being union with me. And mind attached to me alone, so that you will redeem yourself. You will not incur any sins. There will be no karma accruing to you. See, the Lord is very kind. He is very compassionate, benevolent. He cares about you. That is why he's teaching this most beautiful knowledge. Those who are listening to it, and see, he's using me as an instrument to expound this profound truth, the most esoteric knowledge of all knowledge that exists on this planet Earth. Today we are privileged, some good merit that we have done, why we are being given this beautiful lesson. So he cares about us, So he's telling Arjuna that, with the mind attached to me. So what is he trying to tell Arjuna? He's saying, look, I will be able to make you reach your destination provided you do certain things. And I'm giving you method in this world how to overcome the miseries of your mind, the smallness that you feel, or the attachment that you have to the world, your family, everything. How do you overcome all of this grief that you are at this moment in time going through? We all go through this misery even in our own life. Someday we feel top of the world, we feel mighty pleased with ourselves, and someday we are feeling absolutely down, we're dead and out. We don't know why we are feeling like that. There is no reason, but it is your mind. So how do you have this mind under control? How do you practice being in that yoga, which is union with the Divine Lord? How will you be able to then, walk that path? Whatever that your purpose is in this world, that you will be able to fulfill, completely being detached to everything that is happening around you. And here the word is exclusive love. Through exclusive love, the mind attached through me through exclusive love. See, but if you have anybody else, right, inclusive, there's no another in that love. It has to be only one. Like Radha Rani, like all the gopis, like the great devotees of the Divine Lord, right from Narad Muni to, Tukaram Maharaj, Mirabai, they had exclusive love for Lord Shri Krishna. And they forget about, what happened in their world. They are only bothered about, loving and being devoted to the Divine Lord. Such has to be our devotion as well. And then with that devotion in place, then when you're just performing your duties, you know that you're nothing but mere an instrument in the hands of the Divine Lord. You're only serving his purpose. And he's the one who's getting the work done through you. At that time, the ego will not exist. The arrogance will not come into you. You will not think that because of you things are happening. I am the greatest. I am the mightiest. Because of me, the world exists. Because of me, somebody got a job. I gave money to someone. I'm helping this world. I am doing this. This I will not exist, because you will understand that it is not you. It is the will of the Divine Lord. You're mere an instrument. So my Guruji was telling something. The devotees believe they are doing, but in oneness with the Divine Lord. The Lord, they're serving the Lord through doing that particular task which is ordained to them. They are following the command of the Divine Lord. This is the truth. The devotees know, I am doing it for my Lord. I am doing it for my Lord alone. I'm not doing it for myself. That is the reality. Because then when you say even yourself, it is not this lower self. The self within is the universal self, which is Lord Shri Krishna himself. So for that understanding to dawn, you have to first practice the yoga. How will you practice it? He taught the method through Dhyan Yoga, where your mind has to be fixed on him. It says fixed on me alone, through exclusive love. Without love, you can't achieve anything in this world. Please remember. See, love is a very beautiful word, and love is misconstrued in the material world. Like I said, in the material world, everything is based on a transaction. It's like you scratch my back and I scratch your back. That is how it is. Why do we say that? Because love is all conditioned. if you take a relationship and a husband and a wife, the wife will always demand, you have to love me, you need to say I love you, you need to give me gifts for my wedding anniversary, my birthday, that is when I know that you're loving me. So there is always an expectation. See, if you take in the world of divine love, in the love for the divine Lord, there is no expectation. It is unconditional. The Lord has no expectation at all from you. He's not saying you have to give me $1 million. He's not saying you have to give me gifts. He doesn't say any of that. He says, in one of the verse, Lord Shri Krishna will tell to Arjuna that, my devotee, even if they offer me a leaf of tulsi, I am very happy with that. That is all I care about. I don't need anything from you. He's not having any expectation at all. He doesn't want your wealth. He doesn't want anything from you. He just cares about your exclusive love. That love where you have filled your heart with him. Because that is what is going to give you redemption. Imagine, see, we think that in the material world, loving my wife in certain manner, doing certain things, giving her surprises, her or him, both my husband and wife. So doing all that is what is an example of love. Or we think that is the greatest love that exists. But what you don't understand is, if you take Lord Shri Krishna, he's asking you to have this exclusive love because he wants your redemption. How beautiful is that? He only cares about your will. Means you have to evolve on the path of spirituality, meaning he wants your redemption. He cares about you getting out of that bondage of the material worldly existence, and that is the reason why he says you need to have this exclusive love. So how great is that love? Because he cares about you so much, so he's actually telling, fill me, I will redeem you very easily. He has no other ulterior motive in saying that, you need to have exclusive love for me. How beautiful is that? That the love that he has for you, he cares about you so much that he's telling that I will easily redeem you. I will, get rid of all the attachments of the material worldly existence that you have. Just do this for me. His love is so much that he ensures that he doesn't want you to suffer through the miseries of this world. Especially by, sanctioning yourself the cycle of birth and death. Why do you need to get into? So the Lord is so kind, so compassionate towards you. So that is the reason why he's saying this to Arjuna. And then what is he saying? Practicing yoga with absolute dependence on me. Who should you depend? See, a child is always trusting the mother, right? The child depends on its mother and father, exclusively the mother. Because the child believes the mother is always there to protect. Likewise, he's telling Arjuna, practicing yoga with absolute dependence on me. You just depend on me. I am your mother, father, everybody. Everything that you think of, I'm your best friend. I'm there to protect you. Don't worry about anything. That is what the Lord is telling here to Arjuna. And we need to understand this divine grace that exists. We don't see it because we think God is not accessible to us. We can't experience God. You know why? Because you don't have that absolute faith in you to believe that yes, my God is with me all around. My God is within me. My God is everywhere. He reaches the place even before I am there. He ensures everything goes smooth in my world. We don't have that conviction. We think God is not accessible to us. But whose problem is it? It is you alone. Your mind is making that. But here he's saying that I am always with you. Just love me, fix your mind on me, and then meditate, practice the yoga. By complete dependence on me alone, I am going to redeem you. Why are you bothered? That is what he's teaching here. You will know me. Wow. See, you will know me. He's actually saying this. I am available. You will definitely know me, the repository of all power, strength and glory and other attributes. What all will you get to know him? You will know him, not just Lord Shri Krishna, but the repository of all his power, strength and glory. Everything you can know. But first you have to do this. Without even doing anything, you expect miracles to happen. Without even walking that path, you expect to know God. How will you know God? Most important is you need to have purity of your heart, your mind. And until you don't surrender completely unto the lotus feet of the divine Lord, how will you realize him? You can't. So, what is he saying? You will know me when you practice, when you have that exclusive love and practice yoga with absolute dependence on me. You will definitely know me and the repository of all power, strength, and glory, and other attributes of the Divine Lord, the universal soul in entirety. You will know him in entirety. Everything, all his grandeur, glory, power, strength, everything you will know in entirety and without any shadow of doubt. And without any shadow of doubt means your conviction will be absolute. It will be utter, there will be no doubt in it at all. That is what you will come to know. But you have to do this. You have to practice, have exclusive love, depend on him alone. Depend on him like you will depend on your mother. If you had your mother, you would trust your mother, that the mother is going to take care of me. Then my mother will not let anything befall me. Such should be the conviction even with the Divine Lord. Your love should be exclusive, and you will know my Lord is there to take care of me. Everything will be fine. He's the one who's walking the path for me. When you have this conviction, you will achieve him so easily. Like my Guruji says, the Lord Shri Krishna, I am in the palm of your hand. It is just that you need to realize it's so easy. I'm very, very much close, but you think I'm some far off to achieve. Why? Because you have your mind in place. Overcome that mind, control that mind, practice this yoga, and then that realization is very easy. That is exactly even what Lord Shri Krishna is saying. You will know me in entirety and without any shadow of doubt. So practice, let us use this profound truth to evolve that path and attain the lotus feet of the Divine Lord. I shall unfold to you in its entirety this wisdom, that is knowledge of God in his absolute formless aspect, that is unmanifest divinity, along with the knowledge of the qualified aspect of God, both with form and without form, having known which nothing else remains yet to be known in this world. When you understand this, then what else remains for you to know in this world? There is nothing at all. So what is he going to unfold now? He's saying, I shall unfold to you in its entirety the wisdom. This wisdom. What is this wisdom about? Knowledge of God in his absolute formless aspect. The formless aspect. Who is the unmanifest? Along with the knowledge of the qualified aspect. That is, along with the knowledge of the qualified aspect, which is the manifest divinity of God, both with form and without form. What is he talking about? The one with form and one without form. That is manifest and the unmanifest. Having known which nothing else remains yet to be known in this world. Once you understand this, once you know this, once you learn about this, then there is nothing else remains yet to be known for you in this world. Then you don't have to know anything in this world. Then you will understand that this world itself is unreal. It is just it's a creation of the Divine Lord alone. It is his Maya, and he's just sporting in his own Leela. Leela means it's a play. He loves to come and play in his own creation. He's also a very integral part of that whole movie. He's the one who's directing this play, and in that play, he also is a character. He's also the hero. He's also, he has taken many different roles, and he himself is, acting. He's enjoying the acting in his own play. That's how it is. So life is a game. Life is like a play. You just have to be that character, and you have to perform your role to the highest of your ability, to that highest perfection. And once you do that, then you know, okay, nothing else is there for me to achieve. This body itself is just a tool. Yeah, I have donned this garb because I have to give a best performance. So whatever that role might be, you will have to perform to the best. Be the best actor in that play and make the Lord proud of your acting. That is all you have to do. So let us continue. Hardly one among thousands of men strives to realize me. Of those striving yogis, again, some rare one devoting himself exclusively to me, know me in reality. Wow, this is powerful. So what is he saying here? Hardly one among thousands of men, only one among thousands of men strives to realize me. They strive to realize. He's not saying, oh, it's very easy. You just don't have to put any effort, but you can realize me. Not possible. What is he saying? Hardly one among thousands of men strives to realize me. Only one among thousands, and today it's not even thousands, it's millions and billions. One in a billion will want to strive to realize God. Not God, when I say God, it is Lord Shri Krishna. He's very clear, strives to realize me. Of those striving yogis, again, some rare one of those striving yogis. So maybe there will be a handful of striving yogis. Out of them, a rare one. He's not saying even one. A rare. Rare means it is very rare. You hardly can come across anybody like that. It's a by the grace itself you will find that one rare gem. We say rare because it is not commonly available. It's not all the time available. You can't find it anywhere. You can't find it everywhere. It is rare. It is exclusive. It is unique. A rare one devoting himself exclusively to me. So what does this rare one do? He devotes himself exclusive to the Divine Lord. That is to Lord Shri Krishna. He is the exclusive devotee of the Divine Lord. Then what does it mean? He doesn't have anybody else. There is no inclusiveness. It's only exclusive. He is only devoted to Lord Shri Krishna. He lives, breathes, eats, sleeps, everything Lord Shri Krishna alone. For him, he is always in that communion. What does it mean? Union with the Divine Lord. He is always in that love, established in oneness. Yoga, that's the word here. Knows me in reality. Such a devotee alone knows Lord Shri Krishna in reality. Reality means what? That he will be able to see him, he will be able to experience him, he will actually be able to speak to him. He will know him in reality. That is the truth. How beautiful is that? But are you that one rare one? Can you have that, exclusive devotion to the Divine Lord? Devoting himself exclusively to me, knows me in reality. Can you devote yourself? That is what Lord Shri Krishna is asking. You need to be able to have this kind of exclusive devotion. It is not inclusive. And today to find this kind of an individual is next to impossible, because he himself says, right, only some rare one among striving of those striving yogis, again some rare one. It's only one. So one in a billion, imagine just one in this entire universe. There might be only one who's devoted himself exclusively to Sri Krishna, knows him in reality. None of them will know him. And this is the truth. He himself he's telling them. That means what? You can say what you might want to, but to become this, it's not a joke. You have to put in your efforts, strive. He's very clear. Practice, strive. All that is what he's talking about. He's not saying you will just achieve me so easily. It doesn't work. So let us continue. Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, reason, and also ego. These constitute my nature. He's now revealing himself. My nature divided into 8 parts. This indeed is my lower material nature. The other than this, by which the whole universe is sustained, know it to be my higher or spiritual nature in the form of Jiva, that is life principle, O Arjuna. How beautiful is that? He's saying the 5 elements, that is earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then mind, reason, and also ego. All these constitute my nature divided into 8 parts. So this has been divided into 8 parts, and this consists of the Lord's nature. But this indeed is my lower nature. Lower what? Lower material nature, which you can see having been manifested. So that is why we say you have to rise above to attaining the higher self and not your lower self. The lower self is Lord's material nature, which is the lower nature, which doesn't allow you to go beyond. These are the obstacles that come about, especially your mind, reason, ego. Your mind and ego doesn't allow you to rise above at all. It has a strong attachment to the body, that I am this body, I am the mind, I am the intellect, and then it doesn't allow you to go beyond that ego at all. The ego becomes a bottleneck. Then what is he saying? The other than this, by which the whole universe is sustained, the entire universe is sustained, know it to be my higher or spiritual nature. know it to be my higher or spiritual nature. What does that mean? Higher or spiritual nature? Oh, what is Lord's spiritual nature? The spiritual nature is something that this entire universe is sustained by His own, with just a fraction of His potency, of the Yog Maya, we say, the power potency of the Divine Lord. So He's saying, other than this, by which the whole universe is sustained, know it to be my higher or spiritual nature. Spiritual nature in the form of Jiva, the life principle, O Arjuna, in the form of Jiva. See, we say this entire universe, what is keeping us alive is the spirit. And who is this spirit? That word spirit is part of this word spirituality. That I am the spirit and I am not this body. The body comprises of this material nature. The body has come from Mother Nature, we say. That is the Prakriti. The 5 elements has come. The body comprises of the 5 elements. And once you die, the body goes back to it merges in the elements alone. So what is remaining is called the spirit. The universal self, that is the spirit, that is the soul. There's only one soul. There is no Jiva, it's only Paramatma. But he's saying Jiva, the life principle. So that is that spirit, which is the universal spirit, universal self. That alone is the truth. That alone is what is real. That alone what remains to eternity. And this is what Lord Shri Krishna is explaining. What are its lower nature and what is the higher nature. So let us continue. I hope you understood. Arjuna, know that all beings have evolved from this twofold Prakriti, and that I am the source of the entire creation, and into me again it dissolves. Very beautiful. What is he saying here? He's saying, Arjuna, know that all beings have evolved from this twofold Prakriti, and that I am the source of the entire creation, and into me again it dissolves. All beings have come from, what did I say? The Mother Nature, and she is none other than Prakriti. And Prakriti, from this twofold Prakriti. And who's the Prakriti? Prakriti is the Mother Nature, which comprises of the 5 elements and also the 3 gunas. The Sattva, Rajas and Tamas, which we will come to that later. We will be learning about it. And that I am the source of the entire creation. Now, who's the source? I've always said, Lord Shri Krishna is the substratum of this entire universe. The creation is based on Him alone. But He has not created it. Who has created it? It is Prakriti who creates it. Okay? And Prakriti has evolved from where? Know that all beings have evolved from this twofold Prakriti, and I am the source of this entire creation, and into me again it dissolves. But Prakriti has come from the Divine Lord alone. She is born of Him, and from her comes the creation. But the source is who? It is the Divine Lord. And that is the truth we need to understand. The source is not anybody else. The source is not outside of Him. The source is Him. The substratum is Him. But He is not doing it. See, when He says, I am the source of creation, means He is the base, the foundation on which the creation has happened. He is the very base of that foundation. The base is Him. The source is Him. But He is not the one who's doing the creation. The creation is done by Prakriti. That is from this twofold Prakriti. And that I am the source of this entire creation, and into me again it dissolves. And where does it go back? It goes back to Him alone. When does it happen? In the end of the Kali Yuga. We are in the last Yuga where everything is going, it's hurtling fast, very fast towards the destruction. The destruction of this universe will happen. And once that happens, then what? Then everything goes back in the Divine Lord alone. And after that comes back again the new age. So that is the cycle of the creation and destruction. And the sustenance also happens so that the world is sustained, and by the time it has to end its cycle of the creation, the sustenance, and then it goes into destruction. So once it dissolves, it enters into me again. Who is this me? Lord Shri Krishna himself. So the whole universe is nothing but a manifestation of the Divine Lord. It manifests from him alone. And that is why Lord Shri Krishna says that you have to see God in everybody. They are just a manifestation of me alone. So this is the truth we need to understand. So let us continue. There is nothing else besides me, Arjuna, like clusters of yarn beads formed by knots on a thread. All this is threaded on me. What did I say? Everything is just part of the Divine Lord. This entire universe is a manifestation of the Divine Lord. That his body. We say the entire body of Lord Shri Krishna is that whole universe. And it, different parts of his body springs different things. And so he manifests it on his body alone. So what is he saying? There is nothing else besides me. Everything is him alone. There is nothing else in this universe besides him. But to understand this is not so easy. You know why? Because we see a difference. We see that I am separate than the Lord. We can't see him at all. My Guruji was asking something very beautiful. Can you see yourself in me? No, I said, no, I can't see. Why? Because I don't see that. I see we are two different people. But like my Guruji was saying, the day you start seeing yourself in me, then you will realize the truth that everybody exists in me alone and I exist in this entire universe. And that is when you will start seeing God in everybody. When you see God in everybody, then you will experience that love. And until we don't love this entire creation of the Divine Lord, we will never have that God realization. What is God realization? That everything is a manifestation of the Divine Lord, which is what he's very nicely explaining here. But it is very hard for us to realize because we are given into our mind that ego comes in. I am separate than the Divine Lord. We are not able to practice this yoga of that oneness. And until we don't achieve that union with the Divine Lord, it is always going to be very difficult to realize this truth. And we're still going to be a normal, average, below average, mediocre, crass human being. So we have to go beyond that mundane existence of this human, the material world, and transcend to that higher, nature, the higher truth about that I am that spirit, I am this universal self, I am not this body. So you have to overcome that. How will you overcome? He explained in the first verse itself, he has given the secret. How do you practice? What do you do? So it all depends on how much conviction you have, how much you care about the Divine Lord and what he's teaching to you, and then only you will be able to evolve the path. But if you don't believe in it, then it's always going to be your mind which is going to cause that doubts in you. It is going to make you feel that, oh, you're greater than somebody. Your ego is going to come and play. You're constantly going to have this conflict that yo will go on. So where is the question of you practicing the yoga of equanimity? It doesn't exist at all. And then the yoga in which you are going to constantly meditate on the Divine Lord. You're going to experience that union with him at all times, and then you will start developing what is called that exclusive love for Lord Shri Krishna alone. And once you go in that exclusive devotion, exclusive love, then only you will know him in entirety. What does that mean? You will attain God realization, or what is it called as self-realization. So there is nothing else besides me. So there is nothing else in this universe besides Lord Shri Krishna alone, Arjuna. Like clusters of yarn beads formed by knots. Have you seen the yarn beads? It's formed, right? The different knots are there. So he's saying likewise, everything, this entire creation, all this is threaded on him alone. That is on me. Means everything is threaded on me. What does it mean? That this whole manifestation that you see in this world is on the body of Lord Shri Krishna. It is a manifestation from his own self, his own body. But even you can imagine, but it's very hard to actually understand till the moment you actually don't get a direct experience of this knowledge. It is very difficult to comprehend using words. I can't. It's incomprehensible because this is a truth which you have to realize yourself. Even if I try to explain this lesson, it is beyond a human mind's ken and understanding. You can only visualize. You can try to imagine what Lord Sri Krishna is teaching here to Arjuna. But till the time you don't walk the path, you don't experience and get the direct experience of what he is teaching here, it is next to impossible to understand this truth. Okay, so let us continue. Arjuna, I am the sapidity in water and the radiance in the moon and the sun. I am the sacred syllable Om in all the Vedas, the sound in ether and the virility in men. Wow. He's now talking about how do you recognize the Divine Lord? See, He is the highest of everything. He's the best amongst the men. He's the best amongst everything. He is the supreme. So how do you recognize Him? And He's giving some of His qualities here. He's saying, Arjuna, I am the sapidity in water. What does it mean? The sapidity, that coolness. You know, when you drink water, you feel, when you are very thirsty. Have you experienced that? When you're very thirsty, when you drink that water, it just quenches your thirst. I am that sapidity. And water has, it's colorless. You can't hold it. You just can, you drink, you quench your thirst. That's sapidity. That is who He is. I am the sapidity in water and the radiance in the moon. The radiance in the moon. Have you seen moon glowing? It's beautiful. It's radiant. And that radiance is the Divine Lord. I am the radiance in the moon and the sun. The sun shines. The sun shines so beautifully, gloriously. Have you seen the beautiful sunshine early morning? It's so beautiful. The radiance in the moon and the sun. It's radiantly shining. We say how beautiful is the radiance. When the rays come out, when it falls on the beautiful leaves, and then it shines so radiantly. And even the moon. Have you seen the beautiful moon? Have you watched it? Have you sat sometime and experienced the sunrise and the sunset? It's the best moment you will ever live through in your life. You have to be one with that. And then when you contemplate, oh, how beautiful is radiance. This radiance is the Divine Lord. So can you see that everything is the Divine Lord alone? So it's a manifestation of Lord Sri Krishna. And in that radiance, you will experience that truth. But you have to feel it. You have to sit through. So that is why we say we have to be one with this nature, this entire universe, to experience Him, to know Him. I am the sacred syllable, Om, in all the Vedas. Om. Have you chanted Om? Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om. When you say Om, there's a vibration that goes on. That He is the sacred syllable Om in all the Vedas. See, we say from the Omkara came the creation. The Om, the sound is the one which was first created. Om, if you go to the roots, it is explained in some of the scriptures. In fact, I think there is a chapter, not in this, but in Srimad Bhagavatam, he has explained. I don't know about Bhagavad Gita. Maybe he has explained a little bit about how the Om, the Omkara, the sound, it's called the Nad Brahma. From the sound, the creation happens. So here, the Omkara, the syllable Om in all the Vedas, that is Him. The sound in ether. The sound in ether. Wow, what is the sound in ether? See, in the ether you can't experience it. That's just a vacuum. But that sound, that vacuum, that sound in ether is Him. But it's so beautiful to learn, but till you don't experience, you don't understand again. And virility in men. What is it, virility in men? Men have that, the power in them, the potencies in them, that virility, that ability, that manliness, we say he's quite virile, virility, that is in men, that is Him. So that strength, that energy, that power, everything is Him alone, the virility in men, that is Lord Sri Krishna. I am the pure order, the subtle principle of smell in the earth. Wow, this is actually a beautiful thing that you have to experience. I am the pure order, the subtle principle of smell in the earth. See, when it rains, have you ever experienced a smell that comes just before the rain is about to start, the earth gives out a very beautiful smell, and that smell is called petrichor. It's indescribable. It's kind of a beautiful, it's pure odor. That's exactly what he's saying. That smell is the divine Lord. And the brightness in fire, how beautiful it is, that smell. You should observe next time, just before it rains. It's about to, just at the exact precise moment, just about it is going to begin to rain, there's a very beautiful smell that comes out. It's a odor, the pure odor, the subtle principle of the smell in the earth. That's a very subtle, and that smell is called petrichor. And you have to go and someday experience it. It's very beautiful. It's again indescribable. See, I'm trying to say the word. That smell is described as petrichor. But how do you understand what does it mean? Till the time you don't go and smell it, you're not able to. So you have to yourself experience this smell. Nobody can tell you. See, this is why it's very difficult. Everything that Lord Shri Krishna has actually been talking about is, I'm sure you might feel, what is she trying to tell me? It's all going above my head. I can't understand a thing. But you have to make an effort to actually enjoy this experience. He's giving hint to you. How can you experience him in this nature, in the manifestation of himself in this entire universe? So he's giving you the subtle hint. Where can you know him? How can you know him? How beautiful is that? So kindly experience. The brightness in the fire is him. When you light a lamp, it glows. That brightness is him. Nay, I am the life in all beings and the austerity in the ascetics. I am the life in all beings. That I said, we just spoke earlier about it. He's the spirit in all of us. The word spirituality stands for this, that I am the spirit, I am not this body. He is that life in all beings. And austerity in the ascetics. Austerity. The ascetics practice those austere things. And that is him. So you have to recognize. So how do you see God in everybody is a method here. So when you experience that morning blissful sunshine, have you ever woken up early morning and sat very calm and wanting to enjoy a sunrise? Oh, these days people wake up when the sun is way above our head, right? It's almost 11 a.m., 12 in the noon. That's the time we get up today. Today nobody experiences a sunrise. Yeah, sunset you may, but you'll be very busy trying to do your work, trying to be busy with your life. You know what? You have to take time out for yourself to enjoy these beautiful things. It's not more enjoying. It is to experience the divine Lord. He's actually telling you where to find him. Next time, when you are around a moment when it's going to rain, it's about to rain, go and experience this smell, the beautiful smell, which is called petrichor. I can only tell the word. I can't describe the smell. It's like telling you mango is very sweet. Indian mango. Have you tasted Alfonso? It's a king of all mangoes. It's the best kind of a mango that you have to once at least eat in your lifetime. But I'll say it's very sweet. How sweet is it? It is very sweet. What does very sweet mean? So you don't understand what is very sweet till the time you yourself taste it. So these things have to be experienced by yourself. I can only explain to you, but till the time you don't get the direct experience of what I'm talking here, you will not understand that beautiful truth about experiencing the divine Lord. What are his beautiful qualities that you can experience in the nature every single day? We wake up to this beautiful sunrise, to the sunset, to the brightness in the light, in the fire, everything. But have you ever stopped for a moment and seen in that capacity? No, we take all these things for granted because we are running a rat race. Why? Because we are too busy in making money and fulfilling our desires. But we don't experience God. God is with us in so many different ways. That is exactly what Lord Shri Krishna is saying. But we don't have the time to pause and experience him in every little thing that he has created in this universe, and he exists. That is exactly what he's talking about. So it is for you to pause. Take a break in your life and experience him. Walk that path. Don't feel lost. There is no use. The beautiful way to live life is to experiencing him in his entire creation. And that is one thing we forget. We just want to titillate our senses. That is not where you will experience him. You will become a crass human being, below crass, and a very below average human being where God doesn't exist. But he's saying that is his lower material nature. But how do you experience him and where can you find him is what he has described. And then he says, I am the life in all beings and austerity in the ascetics. So experience him. He is the life in all beings. So when you see this whole world as living, and then you know this is the creation of the divine Lord. He's the life, he's the spirit in everything. And that is what you have to be able to experience this truth. When you experience and when you enjoy that oneness, I wouldn't say enjoy, when you are in that yoga, rather union with that divine Lord through this creation of his, then you will realize him. And remember, in the first verse he says that the universe and other attributes, the universal soul in entirety and without any shadow of doubt. So what will you do? What will you know? You will know me, the repository of all power, strength and glory, and other attributes, the universal soul in entirety and without any shadow of doubt. This is what you will realize. You will know him in reality, in entirety too. This is such a beautiful thing. But he also makes a disclaimer. Again, rare one, devoting himself exclusively to me, knows me in reality. So you have to be that rare one. Why? Because he's talking about exclusive devotion. He's talking about exclusive love. Today is the first time we have, touched the word called exclusive love. So now onwards, we are going to learn a lot about it and see how well you can be devoted to the divine Lord. Not devoted to your husband, wife, brother, sister. Nothing you will find in them. You will only get attached and you will sanction yourself, cycle of birth and death. Nothing beyond that. But be devoted to him. He loves you so much. That is why he's revealing this secret. So be that rare one. It's a choice that you have to take this opportunity and attain the divine Lord. So let us stop here with that. We'll continue from the next verse in our next satsang. Thank you for joining the Bhagavad Gita Satsang, the way of life as described by Lord Shri Krishna to Arjuna. Om Shri Mahaganapate Namaha, Om Shri Gurudev Datta, Om Shri Sachidananda Sadguru Sainath Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, Digambara Digambara, Shri Pad Vallabha Digambara. Om Shri Krishna Gurunathanatha, Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Devi Durgaya Namaha, Om Shri Krishna Arpanam Namastu. Krishnam Vande Jagadguru.